Welcome to the Hsld podcast. My name is Zach Bernhardt, a former athlete, current orthopedic surgery resident, and founder of Hsld, short for high speed, low drag. This show is all about high performance, where drive meets discipline, and each episode I sit down with athletes, leaders, and high achievers from every walk of life to unpack the habits, mindsets, and stories behind their successes. If you move with purpose, you're in the right place. Dr. Saluan.
Sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for sitting down with me. Like
I'm
I said,
happy to.
Hopefully you can take me seriously long enough to do this.
I take you very seriously. Very serious about you and your abilities.
Appreciate it. Paul Saluan, MD, works here at the Cleveland Clinic. Again, appreciate you sitting down with me. Been an episode I wanted to do for a while. Obviously, I get to be with you in the OR, learn from you. You know, you've been a friend, a mentor. You've helped me immensely with where I'm going and what I've gotten to do to this point, and so thank you for that.
I'm happy to.
But I would love to hear, your story. I mean, we've talked a little bit in pieces, but I guess take me back to the beginning. When did you say, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be an orthopedic surgeon, and I'm going to find my way into, orthopedic sports medicine, the practice you currently have today?
Yeah. Good questions. Let me preface everything by saying it's my honor to be able to help train you. And I regard you not only as an excellent surgeon, but a good friend, so thank you. And that's one of the benefits of being able to work together like this, is that you meet some really special people. You're one of those where you just stand out amongst the crowd, and just happy to have the ability to work together, so thank you.
I appreciate that.
My background, I come from I'm a very large family. I'm the youngest of that whole family, and there's not really anybody else in medicine in the family. It's my father's brother. So my uncle was an amazing general surgeon. He did a lot of tumor surgeries, really an incredible guy. And he was in private practice, took care of a lot of people, did some amazing surgery, really an exceptionally skilled surgeon who was doing Whipples for pancreatic cancer and getting survival greater than 5 to 10 years after that, which is, if anybody understands that, I mean, it's pretty significant and outside of the bell curve of survival.
For sure.
And so he was great, and that was kind of my first experience with it. And then over time I realized, I love this field. Business really didn't drive me. Like most of my family was in, and entrepreneurial type stuff and real estate. I mean, it's fun, it's cool. Yeah. And right now I'm actually getting back into that. But I went down the path of a medical career, and just kind of through high school, I kind of felt that I wanted to go that direction, college even more so. Then I went into med school. I knew I wanted to be a surgeon, but I didn't know what kind of surgery. And then as time went on, I was an athlete when I was younger, and I think athletics drives orthopedic surgeons into the field somehow, some way. And so I found my way into the field that way because I enjoyed the wellness component to it. I enjoyed the aspect of having somebody who's injured, be able to help them, fix them, and then get them back out onto the field, live a healthy, active lifestyle. You're actually constructing something with somebody. You're not just medicating and following a slow demise. You're actually helping somebody change their course, get back into their life, and be able to accomplish something that they wouldn't have been able to do without you. So it's been an amazing career so far, and I enjoy it. It's fun.
Yeah, you've bounced around. I know we talked a little bit. You started out in maybe a different role than you are now. You did a pediatrics fellowship initially, and then have found your niche now. So maybe just talk a little bit about how you kind of navigated that pathway, because I think even now I talk to other residents, and it might seem like it's such a clear-cut, defined path for them to the outside world, but really you go through 5 years of residency, you learn all these different things, and when it comes to figuring out what fellowship you're going to do or subspecialization you're going to do, it becomes just another really big decision that's a little cumbersome and anxiety-striking for a lot of people.
This is a very good question, and I think I did not navigate the pathway. I think the pathway navigated me.
Okay.
So I think life happened to me to some extent. So the first layer of deciding what I wanted to do, I think, was in med school. I was an intern and first year, and as I was going through that, unfortunately, my father got ill and spent 3 months in the ICU, slow demise. Didn't make it past that. And that was hard. That was difficult. But then I think at that point, I realized I wanted to, in my avoidant type of approach to a lot of things, I ran away from taking care of older folks who are having significant issues, although I'm really thankful for everybody out there who has the fortitude to do that for a living.
Yeah.
I ran in the opposite direction and wanted to take care of younger people.
Yeah.
And couple that with my experience when I was in training with children's hospitals that I worked with, it was exceptional. And I really enjoyed the component of giving somebody back their life to a certain extent from a musculoskeletal standpoint.
Yeah.
So I got down that path, decided to do a pediatric orthopedic surgery fellowship. I did that after my 5 years of orthopedic surgery training at the clinic, and then went to Colorado for Children's Hospital, pediatric orthopedic surgery, and did a lot of pediatric spine surgeries. We were doing a lot of thoracoscopic spine surgeries at the time, where you actually go in through the chest with a scope, drop a single lung.
Colorado is a big deal too. I mean,
it was fun. It was a really cool place to do it. I had great mentors there, but I did a ton of spine, a ton of trauma, level 1 trauma in kids, and then I did some sports as well when I was there, because one of the mentor out there, Robert Eilert, was one of the guys who originally helped open the Orthopedic Learning Center in Chicago, which is where we all kind of hone our skills. So that was fun, and that's the direction I went to start my practice. And then it continued to evolve. As I got into practice, I thought, okay, I'm going to be a really good ped sports, or ped spine guy, rather. I got into it, I started doing it, did okay, wasn't that busy. And as a guy starting out, I joined a group down in Akron, Crystal Clinic, and I was with them for a bit. There was an older guy who was retiring, Whit Ewing, also was an OLC guy, big arthroscopist, he was on the front edge of arthroscopy.
Yeah.
You know, it was from when they used to look through this
I think that's so interesting too, because when my dad trained, right, never did a scope.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
And your dad's younger than me.
Yeah, and he's doing right. a lot of scopes at this point, you know, and so he learned that in practice, you know, and so it's just crazy. That wasn't that long ago. I mean, it's 20 years.
That's a good learning point though, because I didn't do any shoulder arthroscopy in residency.
Yeah.
And I learned that.
Yeah, you do a ton of it
on my own. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's a good perspective.
It is. Yeah, and so that, you know, for the young surgeons or anybody listening too, it's just like you are constantly the lifelong learner. I mean, it's true. You really always are. So, yeah. This is your alma mater. We're sitting at JCU, correct? How did you find your way to, again, coming back here? We just finished up some sports physicals and taking care of athletes, but how'd you find your way back to, you know, taking care of the JCU, the Blue Streaks here?
Right. It's funny. I mean, it's a circuitous route. But getting more into sports, I got into sports because Whit Ewing had a whole sports practice. He was retiring within a couple months. I was the young, hungry guy.
Yeah.
So I picked up all of his follow-up patients.
Okay.
And then invariably you have to kind of dish some of those patients off when they need surgeries. And I got to the point where I was like, I mean, how hard can this be? I do pediatric spine surgery, for the love of God. I can do this stuff.
Yeah.
So I started down that path, got the subspecialty requirements, the certificate and all that, and went through training myself in practice and became a good ped sports guy.
Yeah.
So I picked that up, pursued that niche that was evolving at the time, and then ultimately I came back to Cleveland Clinic. I was recruited back to help kind of run pediatric and adolescent sports, and then as part of that, caring for the teams kind of came in as part of the practice. So I initially started at BW actually with caring for them, because one of our older guys, John Bergfeld, was stepping down, so I kind of ran that for a while and took care of those athletes there, and it was great. It was initial culture shock because they're obviously foes with John Carroll where I played, but then after I got to know them, it was really a cool experience. And then as things developed, as things change around, practices shifted, I decided to come over to John Carroll because that was my alma mater, because one of my other colleagues' alma mater was BW, so he wanted to go there and take care of them. And it's been fun ever since. I had the pleasure of working with my daughter here because she came through and she ran track. She would just be so upset if I didn't mention she still has a record that's on the wall there, 8-9 years out for the 400 relay, so I'm thrilled about that. But it was really a special experience where I could come here, take care of the players, do my training room, and then go get dinner with her because she was in the area.
That's awesome.
So it was cool.
Yeah. No, I can definitely, you know, I just see you walking around today, see kind of got the mayor vibe going around, shaking hands, kissing babies a little bit. But I think hearing about Noel, and that's a good transition point to talking about what are your kids in, and what kind of, I know that Quinn's to some degree kind of following your footsteps a little bit. So just talk about maybe the striking the balance between being an orthopedic surgeon and a father and leading them through navigating their own path, because I think that's something that for me, I chose to directly follow in my own father's footsteps. And I know for him, he never wanted to force me into anything, but he also told me that you might be good at this.
Right.
So
that's exceptional. I love that. So before I get into my family, I want to talk about your family,
okay.
Right? Because they came up today. I saw a girl who came through literally 10 minutes before you came to see me, who came from Hsld High School, and I think she's softball. No, she's a golfer. So she was coming through, and I mentioned, my buddy Zach Bernard is coming in. He's going to be here shortly, and he's from Hsld, and she goes, oh, him and his family? Oh my gosh. Everybody loves them. They're amazing. Yeah. And so she really, without hesitation, was talking about how wonderful your family is in the area, and how you are cool even though you're the much, much older brother.
Yeah, I'm the old guy now. I'm the old guy.
Yeah, but
I didn't pay you to say that.
No, it was truth, and I thought it was really sweet, and that's a testament to who you and your family are. So I think that's why we get along so well, because you love your mom and dad, you love your family, you're a good person in that regard, and I'm thrilled and honored to have you as a friend. So with that, and my kids are wonderful. They're my life. Noelle is 29. She runs marketing and media with the Cavaliers and the Guardians at Cleveland Clinic, and she's doing really well. Quinn is 26 years old. My son, he's doing well. He went to UPMC. He's doing a oral maxillofacial residency there. So he didn't follow in my footsteps. He's in medicine, but he's much smarter than I could ever be. And so he decided to pursue that lifestyle. And now he affectionately refers to himself as Doctor, because he's a DDS MD because of that program. I'm just a doctor. Yeah. So he wanted to make sure he surpassed me. Oh yeah. Yeah. And then my youngest daughter, Maria, is at Walsh University. She's going into sophomore year. And she wants to do some work with foster kids. She wants to do social work. She is adopted herself. We adopted her when she was a baby. And she's always had a keen interest in trying to affect people's lives in a positive way who've gone through something similar with her. So she's exceptional. She's doing great at school.
That's awesome. Obviously you've held a lot of roles, worn a lot of hats. What are maybe some of the coolest roles or things you've gotten to do being an orthopedic sports surgeon?
Well, there's multiple, right? And you think about what drives you, what makes you happiest. And I feel like the coolest aspect is being able to do surgery and really be able to do procedures that can change people's lives. Not only cool to do it, but after a while, after you see the patients coming back, that they're actually doing really well because of what you've done. So I think surgery still first and foremost is the best in my life. Seeing patients in the office, if I could see like 1/3 of the volume, that would be great, but that's not possible. But I think it's still cool to be able to see them and talk to them there. So that's probably primary. Yeah. And then the secondary aspect is what I do with the teams here. So I think working with John Carroll, working with Brecksville High School, working with the athletic trainers closely, I think has been key. It's something I've kind of learned to value more than anything in my life, where the relationships are taking the forefront and the accomplishments are taking the back seat. Yeah, and I think that's just normal for a lot of people, but I wished I would have learned that about 20 years ago. It would have been great, but it's stuff that we all kind of come down with in our own time.
No, of course, and you've touched on it a few times now, and I think it's ultimately what drove me to sports medicine, perspective of being an athlete and all those things, but the patients and seeing them do well. I love arthroplasty. I love trauma. Unfortunately, trauma, you don't get to choose your own patients a lot of times. Arthroplasty, everybody gets degenerative diseases at some point in their life eventually. and they generally do well, but I didn't want to lose that subset of the young population, being able to even do physicals and just kind of, mess around with the kids for a second. You really get to talk to the patients, and as much as I can relate, to anyone at some point, the 65 and over crowd, when they come into there's not a ton of parallels.
Right.
So
Not yet.
Not yet, no, but it is nice to have the variety, and I think variety in sports medicine is something that a lot of people might overlook at times.
So I'll take that a step further. So you do it for that reason, but then you don't realize yet what your unique gifts are and your talents are. I mean, you're a good-looking guy. You've been in.
Got that.
You've been. But you've been in sports your whole life. You take care of yourself. You understand what it takes to be a high-level athlete.
Yeah.
All these things you bring to the table and you draw people to you. I mean, when you're in something like this, a situation like this, the kids look up to you.
Yeah.
So you have the ability to really impact their lives by a simple smile, a simple 1-minute discussion with them. They're like, wow, he's really cool. And he's a surgeon. And he used to play football. And he used to do this. They'll be talking about you for like 3 weeks after that. So I think you have a platform that you individually can take advantage of to help people out quite a bit.
I hope so, and I'm glad you brought that up, just because it's something that I've talked to others about. I owe everything to where I am today because of sports and STEM and all the things that I've kind of shared with you. And I do want these athletes, whether they're maybe somebody who hasn't been seen or maybe they have been seen, but regardless, like, you don't just need to go get a business degree. That's not to say that that's a bad thing, but you can do more. You don't have to be, this science nerd to go be a doctor, right? You can be the athlete. You can be the jock. You can go do these things. I firmly believe, and I'm biased, and as are you, I'm sure, but I think athletes should be in those positions, right? The leadership positions, those prestigious positions. I really believe. So all the things that sport teaches you is just, I firmly believe it separates you. I know it's what's gotten me through an orthopedic residency to this point. Those times that are tough, those 24 hours, those 36-hour stretches where you haven't seen your bed.
Well, you think about it, you're a good team player, right? And you know where you function within the team. And then you also know
coachable.
Well, yeah, to some degree, but then you're also a leader within that team. And you know how to step up when you need to, as you have, with call issues, with other things like that. So I agree wholeheartedly. Being part of that structure is helpful, and having had that, I guess, previous athletic history allows you to accomplish things at a much higher level.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And you may not be able to comment on all of this, but, within the Cleveland Clinic, we're very lucky, blessed, have a lot of really cool opportunities. It takes you to some cool places. Where are some of the places you've gone, and where are some of the places you even, if you're able to speak on, seeing the Cleveland Clinic going in the sports performance space?
It's been pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, we've with the Global Peak Performance Center that we're currently developing and will open soon with the Cavaliers in Cleveland in 2027. The infrastructure will be built. But we're feverishly working on the data technology platform as well, and working with our partners, Sports Data Labs in particular, in order to achieve that. It's been really eye-opening. It's been a great experience to just try and learn what's out there and really touching a lot of different lives that we haven't touched before. I've had the luck of being included in strategy development and some clinical development with that facility and with that personnel. So it's taken me different places. I've traveled a lot in the last year or two.
Especially last July when I was with you, a week here or there.
Oh yeah. We traveled quite a bit, and it's cool. I think it's been very interesting. We have a place in London as well that we're looking to work together with in order to develop further with performance. Working with our international colleagues, having a lot of 6 a.m., 7 a.m. meetings. Yeah. But it's been fun. It's opened up a dimension of my career that I didn't expect. It's been very busy. Right now we're trying to operationalize that and get the right personnel in place so that we can be effective at everything we're trying to do. It seems that the opportunities are coming in at lightning speed. Yeah. So we really have to vet through them, because as with anything, even with AI right now where things are accelerating, so is this opportunity with professional athletes and how we're pursuing that together. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you sitting down with me. I think it gives everybody kind of an idea of, the road to get there, kind of the rigors of doing it, and then, how fulfilling and rewarding it can be. But I'm excited to see where the Cleveland Clinic goes, and I'm excited to continue to call you a mentor and see where we can take some things. So.
You're part of this, my man. So
Yeah.
we'll continue these discussions moving forward.
Sounds
so
good.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
I appreciate it.
Yep.